Hi guys, it is Belle here and we are back for the final prompt of Fanguary, hosted by the lovely Priscilla over at Release Crafting. Go check out their link down below. And I'm feeling a little sad. I really enjoyed this challenge. It's added a lovely gothic twist to the new year, which is right up my little creepy street. So, the final prompt, Immortal Beloved. Yeah, so today we're going to make a concertina, or in the less technical term, a flippy flappy magnetic belly band. That's the word I'm going for. Now, I have made these before in other journals, but it literally has just been the one opening in the other journals. But we're going to do something a bit more this time. You can already see that I've started on the concertina. This is an A4 in the UK piece of card. I guess that's letter size in the US. I don't really know what the difference is in the sizes. I'm obviously here in the UK. But this is about 11.5 inches by 8 and a smidge. Let me get it up to you. Can you see that? By 8 and literally maybe 1/8 of an inch. Although I have trimmed it slightly. And this will fit onto, if you have an A4 or I suppose letter size in the States, it will fit on your journal page like that. Like I said, I've made magnetic belly bands before in a couple of other journals. They've normally been slightly thinner than this, but they do open up. I love them for hidden writing space. If you haven't guessed by now, hello, I'm Belle, and I like to add little hidden writing spaces to our journals. I just love it. It makes a journal feel more magic. It makes it feel like, you remember when you were a child, and you used to be able to buy those journals that had locks on and everything, that were the easiest locks of all to kind of like open, but it kind of felt so secret. I love doing that in my journal, and the more writing space the better. Now, I have already scored on my scoreboard, and this is one time when my scoreboard that's in centimeters, not inches, actually came in quite well. And now you're not going to get it exact. You may be able to work out the maths. I don't like maths, so I just did what worked best. So mine is 7.5 inches. Each of these scores is 7.5 inches, which is about, which is, let me get that up for the, no, it's 7.5 centimeters, not inches, which is about 2 7/8 of an inch-ish. Okay. Just, yeah. So I scored this 7.5 centimeters, 7.5 centimeters, 7.5 centimeters, which then left me with, I've actually got centimeters here, 7 inches, or just over 2.5, 7 centimeters. I'm so used to working in inches. Let me go through that again. 7.5 centimeters, 7.5 centimeters, 7.5 centimeters will leave you with 7 centimeters, or about 2.5 inches, which is fine because this is going to be on the bottom. So it doesn't matter that this is, I'll try and get that up. Can you see here? It's really hard. It's black card. It's a little bit, you've got just an overhang, but this will be on the bottom of your page, which also means it's going to open like that. Now, you could have this always hidden writing space, but we're doing a prompt for Immortal Beloved. So are we going to do that? No, obviously we're not going to do that. I have pulled out of my stash, again, I'm just using what I have left, some creepy things similar to I used for, what was the prompt? The Blood is the Life for number 4. These are by Art House Whimsy. And we have these 2 skeleton peeps left. Okay, real skeleton vibe this in this challenge. Loving gosh. And these are our Immortal Beloveds. So for these to be put into our flippy flappy concertina magnetic belly band. Quite the mouthful there. I'm going to need to cut. So what I have done is I've gone around in my white pen. I know they're smudged. We're going to collage. It's going to be fine. I've done 1 inch down from top to bottom, roughly, and 1/2 inch in, roughly. That's what's going to work with mine. Now, if you don't have laminator sheets or this, you don't have to do what I'm about to do. You can adapt this in any way. As I said, I've made magnetic bookmarks, belly bands before. I've put pockets on the front. I've decorated them up. You can put decoration here, extra writing space, whatever you want to do. I want to do this because I like working with laminating, and I have them printed out. So, I am now going to just get my craft knife, and I'm just going to go and cut on this line, but I'm cutting through, not this final one, but I'm cutting through all of these because I need there to be a cut through the whole of those. So I am going to do that now, and then I'll show you what that looks like. Okay guys, so I cut that out, and I'm going to just say I made a bit of a boo-boo, but it's a boo-boo that is easily fixed. I shouldn't have cut this piece out. This should have just been left as is, but that's okay. It's easily fixable. I'm not too worried. It should have just been these two. But to be honest, I just found it easier than measuring, maybe getting the measurements wrong. I find it easier to cut all the way through. And I could have still done that because I could have just moved these two and cut through there. So if you are going to do this, just put the first two on top of each other and cut through. Because now we've got this, and that's not what I wanted. But again, it is easily fixable. So I'm not too worried. Okay, so now what we have to do, what I may do first is actually fix. No, what do I want to do first? Let's add our Immortal Beloveds first, shall we? So this is going to be the front. We are going to add our chappy onto the front. Can we see him? And I love the fact that it's, you know, double-sided so that I can sort of maneuver him. Now, when I must have cut this piece from the sheet where you get 3, can you see how she has a lot more around her? But here I cut really close to the edge. So we are going to lose some of that detail. But I'm also okay with that because we have to have some overlap so that I can glue and, yes, stitch. Again, you don't have to. I am going to just, again, use my white pen to mark on here because I need to cut him down. Where is mine? Yeah. So I made a boo-boo, but that's okay because, do you know what? We all do that when we're crafting. Just because I am crafting and filming and all that kind of thing does not mean that I do not make mistakes. And to be honest, sometimes that's why I make mistakes, because I'm trying to film and I don't always think through, or, you know, sometimes I get caught up in it. And that is all good. I need to make sure, do you see there's a black line here at the bottom? I need to make sure that that is definitely on the black, so that we're not seeing some weird kind of white space there. So I am going to glue him down. And he is going to get glued. We have our Immortal Beloveds. And the reason I'm doing him first is because I need him in place to be able to accurately place the lady behind. Because I want there to be some overlap so that they almost look, I'm smearing this because obviously this is shiny. Let's make sure I do the bottom first. I want there to be some overlap to almost look like it's one person. It won't be perfect overlap. They're going to look like they've got 4 arms or 4 hands. That's okay. I'm okay with that. See how he's going to go there? We can't see him right now, but Do you see? Da-da-dum, da-da-dum. And now we're going to bring in our lovely lady. Now already I'm going to trim some of her down, because I know I'm going to have to trim it down anyway, and I need to maneuver her into position. So let's just trim her a little bit so that she'll fit. I will leave the link to Art House Whimsy down below. I love her creepies. Right, so she will have to be there because I need... Okay, she's going to have to get trimmed a little bit more. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to layer them up on top of each other now. And let me show you what I mean. So I'm layering, this is where I've got the white paper behind so you can see. Do you see there's him, and I want to layer her almost behind, layer up their skulls. Again, it gives you this weird extra hand thing, but I'm just going to hold that in place. But I really like the overall effect. So that's what we are doing. So that needs to go there. We need to cut off here. And we need to cut off about there. Yep. Okay, so let's cut this bit first. Right, we're going to cut this. Then we're going to come in and trim this. And then we're going to cut this. And hope that I've left myself enough space either side. Just going to trim a little bit down on him too, so that we can match their skulls up, because that is what is important. Now I'm going to come on and glue around here. Oh, I just love using, you will know if you've watched during Creep on June, I really got into, I've always loved using vellum for pockets, for that sort of translucent-esque effect. But once I found like overhead laminator sheets and how they work, oh, that was it, guys. That was it. I was like, yep, this is definitely for me. So we're going to put our lady down there, and then we're going to very carefully, now I'm going to have to bring her up, I'm going to very carefully try and match up their skulls. Now they're not going to match up exact, because obviously these are two different printables. But their nose is very similar. So, right, I think that'll work. And now I've got to carefully close this over, doing the edge bit first. Again, if you are not going to sew, once you have everything lined up and kind of glued in place, go back in and really secure your piece. Now we're going to be collaging over the top of this anyway, so you know that's all good. But do you see? Oh my goodness, I love it. They sort of look like one very strange person. And then we open it up. Da-dum! Immortal Beloveds. Now let's work. Let's leave that to dry a little bit. Actually, should we collage on here? No, we're going to fix this first. Now, this is, I want to say I released the crafting, but I actually don't know if it is one of their printables or not. So, yeah, I could be wrong. But I wanted this on the back. I'm going to leave a little bit of, I really want to hold her down, because I can feel the glue wanting to come up a little bit, because it took me a while to attach it. I want to put this behind because you've got all these hearts on there, and I'm also going to leave a little black border. So to do that, I'm going to turn it this way, leave part of my border, and then I'm just going to come on with my pencil, with my little bat. Tell you, when I say I love bats, I mean I love bats. And we're going to bring that on. And I have to remember the magnets. Now, you do not need to use magnets for this. You could use a ribbon and tie it all the way around, which is quite cute. I would suggest a ribbon that's flat-ish and quite thin, but you could use a ribbon. You could probably just hold it in place with a paper clip at the top and bottom. Make them nice and gothic-y and stuff. Obviously, I know not everyone has magnets, but I do, and I like using them. So for me, and it's not just the fact with magnets that I love using them because they're easy and they give a slightly less bulk. Obviously, if you are using them in a journal, they might cause a little bit of bulk when you're trying to write on some of the pages, but you know, that's what we have writing boards, or just work around them. But I also just really like the sound of them, I'm going to be honest, guys. So, you know, I like the sound, I like what they do. So that's just one of the couple of the reasons I love working with magnets. Now, so we had that gap that I shouldn't have cut out. So again, think about that when you're working. If you're going to make one of these, just cut those two. But it's basically fixed, guys. Like, it's absolutely fine. Obviously, we have a gap on the other side. We're going to put writing paper on there. But I want to put that on here because I now want to show you that when we close this up, it's not coming through very easily. Let's just do it through the one. But can you see the heart? Can you? I don't know. The lighting's not brilliant. But we can see that through. So we've got some paper. But I don't just want to use that. I do want a collage. There's going to be stuff on there. I've got so many scraps. I'm just going to pull them all over and you can see, look, I've just got scraps. Some are digitals that I don't know. Some, like this, I know is a Release the Craft in. Some are scrapbook papers. Some are Tim Holtz pages. I also have some of the Dracula book page. We're definitely going to use that. Got some more scrapbook. I have this from a Release the Crafting kit as well. I made a beautiful Aphrodite journal out of this kit actually, so check that out if you haven't. I think it's actually still in my shop, but I just want a collage. We don't need to do anything on this back page. Don't need to do any collaging. But you also don't want to ruin it. It might be actually nice to put some writing paper on here. And I might do that, actually. We might get 3 lots of writing paper in here. Ooh. Right. And I just want to come on and I want to collage around here. Oh, actually, yes. And here. Here's the most important bit because obviously these are blank. Now, you could come on and cut out some more paper and put it around. I'm going to collage because I find that easier, and you've seen me collage a million times before, guys, so we'll just do part of one and then, you know, we will I'll just do the rest off camera. I'm trying to pre-film everything. I will have so many by the time this goes up. I will be behind on watching things for several days because of one thing and another, but I am pre-filming all mine. Now I can see, because the light's coming through, where this piece of paper needs to go. So yeah, I need to catch up on everyone's. I've just been so busy pre-filming quite a lot because I'm busy at the end of this week and stuff, that yeah, I just need to get these done. So I have no idea what everyone's been doing for many of these prompts, because the first few prompts I was doing, I pre-filmed but got to see other people's, but then I just had to pre-film. So yeah, I have no idea what everyone's doing for a lot of these prompts, which is fun, but also I don't like to pre-watch anyway people's videos before I make my own. It's that whole not wanting to get influence. You can still get inspiration But what I like to do is pre-film mine, watch everyone's, once I've done mine, and then, you know, you'll watch someone else's video and then get inspiration for maybe another project that you want to do, which, you know, why did I even rip and tear it? Do I want it slightly ripped and torn? I think I do. I don't mind looking at some of that black. So, yeah, that's what I like to do. I like to get the inspiration for other makes, but not for the makes that I'm doing for that project. Does that make sense, guys? That's just the way I kind of work. And funny enough, as soon as I saw the prompt list, I had quite a few ideas straight away. Like, I knew that I wanted to make a magnetic, what they're called, belly band, because I have put them in journals before and people have gone, that's such a good idea. Oh my goodness, I'd really like to make one of those. And so I knew at some point I was going to make one on camera. And when I saw Immortal Beloved, I was like, oh my goodness, this could not be more perfect. Because I can have space. If I make it a larger magnetic bookmark than I usually do, I can have space for 2 people. And sometimes it happens like that. Sometimes the inspiration comes easier. And then sometimes you're just like, what on earth am I going to do for this prompt? Which is what I had with The Blood is the Life. But most of these, as soon as I saw the prompts, I had some form of idea of at least the piece of ephemera that I wanted to make for it, if not completely, how it was going to turn out. So yeah, so I'm excited to watch everyone else's for all the makes up until the final day, to see what everyone's made, to see what new inspiration I can gather, and for future projects. Like, I just love it. Everyone's so creative. Like, there's always something that you're like, oh my goodness, that was such a genius idea. How did I never think of doing that before, you know? I need to make sure she's going to fold. So now we can see some of this on the other side. I don't mind. I'm trying to rip it as close as possible, but I really, really do not want... Look at this Tim Holtz fabric. Doesn't that look like blood under a microscope? Maybe not. Maybe you work in a science theatre lab and you're like, it really doesn't, Belle. I don't know what you're talking about. Which, you know. But to me, it kind of does. Now, I want to use that throughout, so... Let's have a look at something a bit different. I've got this flower one. I mean, it would be fine if I rip and tear at it. I think it will be fine. So yes, always so excited to see what everyone does, get new inspiration from people. That's why I started a couple of years ago, although I've barely done anything in it, the Inspired by series that I started, because I just love looking at what people were doing or on Pinterest and getting inspiration and then having my own go and seeing how I can adapt it. And I always find once you start making, you might have seen in other videos of mine, once you start making something, often as I'm making it, I'll go, oh my goodness, hold on. And often you'll think how you can adapt it, you know, as you're making it. And we all have our own preferred style. I know not everyone uses journals. And I know that even those who do use journals, not everyone writes or needs a lot of writing space in their journals, you know. So I know that's a thing, but I know for me that I love extra writing space in my journals. And I love that hidden playful aspect. I love them being full of texture and interactive. That's just my style when it comes to journals. So when I'm trying to create ephemera, that is something that very much for me then becomes part of the ephemera making process. So even if I see a piece, I will be thinking to myself, okay, how can I add a hidden aspect? How can I add another pocket? How can I make this work on multiple levels? But again, that's not for everyone. Not everyone likes that in their journals. So, you know, you can be inspired by others and then make it, but it doesn't have to be exact. You don't have to have what everyone else has. Just have a go at making it yourself in your own style that works for you in your own creations. I'm trying to cut this. I've got to cut it so carefully. I think I have cut some of the black. Do you know what? That's where inking comes in. Because we can ink any little spots that need inking. Little smidge just there. So I have collaged around him. And I will collage around the front. And then I'm going to collage around her, both sides. And I will come back and show you what that looks like. Okay, guys, that took a bit longer than I was expecting. But you can see that I've collaged both sides of this with scraps. And it still does fit together. I've also added a little washi in places. Just because I like the look of it, and I've really burnished those ends down. Now what I need to do now is grab some paper, and I am going to again do a bit of a border so that we can add paper to this so that it can be we have a writing space, and then we have to also add our magnets. Now I am really hoping that the magnets go through all of this. That is what I'm hoping. I am going to cut 3 pieces of paper because I have decided that I want to also add some writing space onto the back, and this is what I'm saying. I'm really hoping we may have to add 3 magnets. Well, 6. It'll end up being 6. I was hoping we'd get away with 4. We might do. I am going to try it out, and then if we don't get away with 4, we will add 6. So let me cut another one of those and ink around them, and then we're going to attach them. Okay, so I cut those 3 pieces out. I've inked around them, and I've already glued one onto the back. So this will be the bit that goes flat to your page. I've left this space. We're going to do something. And this was our boo-boo one. Do you remember with the collage? And yes, it was a bit of a boo-boo, but it's all covered now, so you can't even tell. Which is all good. I've just realised I really want to ink along here. I will say when you're collaging, try and leave a little bit of a gap where the score lines are so that it does move really well. Now I'm going to attach my magnets. I'm going to use my slightly larger ones. And I worked out we're going to need 6 anyway. So we might need more than that, because in all honesty, I'm going to put them right in the middle. I need to make sure I've got enough space because I need to stitch, and these are quite large. And, you know, we don't want a needle going over the stitching. And also I need to make sure that when I attach them onto the other piece, it won't interfere with where the vellum is. So they are going to go on there. And now, I'm hoping this will go over. Now, oh, fingers crossed. Now we're going to glue this down on here as well. This is the piece of paper that's going to go on here. Normally I like to try and do everything on camera, you know that, but realistically this could take a while to do all the different bits and pieces, and I don't want to go in, edit, fast forward, all that kind of thing. So I'm sorry I'm pausing it and doing certain things off camera, but also sometimes, you know, honestly, It can take me quite a while to do certain things, especially with the collaging, working out what piece is going to go where and doing so much of it. So yeah, so I do apologize for that, but also have to do it sometimes. So we have another piece of writing paper, lovely and grungy. So again, this will go onto here. Now you're going to need magnets. Let's get them. Now these magnets here would actually be on your page. So let me show you. They'd be like that, right? And then you would cover them with, I don't know, a piece of washi, or you could do the same kind of paper that if you're using tea stained, you would cover them like so, and then your bookmark would attach to them, but then it would be removed. Obviously these aren't glued down, but you can see they would stay on your page, but your bookmark could come on and off. Do you see what I mean? I might actually have to do that for you guys, just because it may make it easier for you to see. So I am going to do that actually. I mean, worst comes to worst, I'll just use this in a certain journal. Or what I could do, and again, you've seen me, I've put glue on the back of the magnets that are going to be stuck down, and then they leave glue. Can you see that there? The light's not brilliant today. They would go on there, and then I am just going to cover them with some washi. I need quite a big piece of washi, because what I've decided is if I do it with washi, then I can remove them. Again, you could use book page, you could use, can you see that? I don't even know if I'm on camera for some of this. You could use book page, you could use tea stain paper, you could use washi. I often like to get a circle punch and make it a pretty circle shape, but we're just going to use some washi for this so that I can remove it once we've done this make. So again, this will attach onto there. You then have, got to grab something, you then have a belly band that something can go through, but then this will come off as well. Do you see? Okay, I hope that was clear. So we've got 2 here, 2 on the page. Now this chap, he needs 2 as well. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to let the magnets attach to each other, right? So they're attached to the ones underneath, and I'm going to use the same technique. I'm going to get a little bit of glue. Then we're going to attach this over here. Press that down. Oh, one's already gone over. How fun is that? Then I've got this piece where I can see the glue. I'm going to move that over. Now, I don't want to put anything too thick on here because we have quite a few layers. So I am going to come on and I am going to use book page because I feel like that will be the best thing to cover this with. Just because, as I said, I don't want to do too many layers to make it more I don't want to use more magnets than I have to because I'm already using 6. And you can see that the magnets do give me space to stitch here and to stitch there, which is really good because you do not want a magnet hitting your sewing needle. You can get smaller magnets. I do work with smaller magnets, but I thought these bigger ones give me more coverage, like surface coverage, meaning that it just will look, I hope, neater when I actually, let's add a bit of washi to that, when I actually have this closed. Get your words out, Belle. Feel like I want a bit more washi there. Got a bit there and a bit there. That's cool. That's good, good, good. Right, let's do the bottom bit. We could bring in a little bit of red. There's already some red, but we could bring in some of this. So So yeah, you just want to make sure that it will definitely cover your, now I've done it, I don't think I like it. Let's just bring in some more book page. I don't even know what I was saying. My brain went then. So, oh dear me. My brain has gone far away. So yeah, oh, that's what I think I was saying. Just make sure that when you're placing the paper down, that you leave enough space either side of the magnet so that you can really press that down so that that magnet's not going to be visible. And we have it closed. And then it will attach to our page. And then we will have a belly band. Oh my goodness. You gotta just love it. Now it is quite chunky because there's several layers, but my journals always end up chunky. We have our beautiful couple. We can open this and then open it. And then obviously when you remove it, you've got more writing space. I mean, I'm kind of loving it. What do we think, guys? I'm kind of loving it. But they've got hearts and things all over it. Now, again, I could have put writing paper on there. Let me get a little scrap so that you could see. You could put writing paper on there as well. You know, have a little bit to write on. We could actually, couldn't we? I don't want it perfectly on there. I want to be able to see some of that heart with roses. I kind of like that. Because we can see their faces better, which is always good. See, adapt as you're crafting. I've added writing space in 2 places. I didn't even think I was going to. So that's good. Let's glue this on. So I know there's some measurements. To be honest, you don't need perfect measurements. Just fold it and do what feels, you know, right until you get it folded the way you like to. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that. We see their faces better. Okay, so we've got that. Now comes the fun part. Now comes the let's decorate this up part. I'm trying to work out because this flower has white on that side. It would have been better if I'd cut this out of double-sided red card. But I didn't, so we go with it. We work with it and we just, you know, we adapt. Use what you have. It takes so long to cut out die cuts, honestly. I spend so much time. And that's fine. When you're just watching something simple in the evening, it's fun to maybe do that. I definitely want some flowers on here because, you know, Immortal Beloved. They're flowers. And let's see what that looks like over the side. Actually, we can barely even see it. Oh, love it. Love that. Right. I also have some words from Release the Crafting. This is from their Patreon. They're vampire ones and they're all love related, these ones. So your love is the darkness I welcome, the night I never wish to end, which I love. Our love is endless like the night that never seems to dawn. Love that one too. In every century I find you, and in every century I will love you again. I kind of want these on here. So we've got to work out where we are going to put them. Then we're going to add, say it with me, bats. We may also add some spider webs. And I've got to add stitching. There's a lot to be done still. Oh my goodness me. I mean, make life easy for myself, never. Actually, I've added that flower and I should have stitched before I added that flower. Okay, we're making a few boo-boos today. It's all good. So let's have a look. Now, I don't think these are going to fit the width. Well, they're not. There's no way they are. But they will fit on the length, which I love. Do you know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to go and stitch. And I'm going to do a straight stitch, I think, around here. I don't know. I might do straight stitch and cross stitching. I'm not going to... I say I'm not. I might do it on the back as well. We'll see. But I want to stitch around these. Okay, guys, I added, well, first of all, I made another boo-boo. That makes how many now? But I put the wrong stitch across the top. I wanted straight stitch, and I ended up just stitching around the outside of everything rather than the inside too, because I kind of like the raggedy edge. It did mean that because I put a lot of stitching across there, that the what's it called, the zigzag stitch, I could then add a little bit of fabric, which, you know, worked out. Oh my goodness me, today's piece is really deciding to and it should be simple because I've made these before, although obviously, as I said, this is a whole new like level of it, because I haven't done these with this many layers or with the acetate in them before, so there is that. But yeah, it's a challenge in me today, and we shall overcome, because where are my scissors now? Where's my large scissors even? Oh my goodness. Right, let me grab them. Okay, we shall overcome, and we shall keep going. And I always like to be as authentic as possible with you guys and show you when things don't go to plan, because there is usually a solution. Sometimes that solution is start again, or sometimes the solution is to just replace the whole thing. But today's solutions have been easier for us. And yeah, let's put that one down there. So we've got lots of love related quotes, because this is meant to be Immortal Love. And I'm liking to think of them as, yeah, love, soulmates in life, and through eternal life. That's how I'm liking to view it. So, are they both vampires? Don't know. Was one a vampire? I mean, they've both kind of got, they're both skeletal, so I'm thinking they're both vampires. We're just going to go with that. Let's not think about it too much. Dun, 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 dun. Do I want this here? I feel like I want it on one of these. It's weird putting it sideways with nothing else there. Like, I feel like we need a little bit of collage behind it, because, yeah, that's what I feel. It's all right with the others because they've got collage, but this hasn't got anything. So I can't just put something down and not also layer it a little bit. Yep, that's much better. And then we're going to decorate with some bats, maybe some spider webs. We're just going to do all of that so that we can decorate it up a little bit. Oh, this looks so much better, doesn't it? Rather than just being plonked down with nothing behind it. Right, I'm making sure that's still sticking. Making sure. Right, let's decorate it on the page, shall we? Okay, then let's bring in the die. Do you know, I have so many bits and pieces and I haven't really used any of them. It's absolutely crazy how many different little bits and bobs I had. I know I have more bats than this. Where are all my other bats? But yeah, I got out so many things, so maybe I will just have a quick look if any of those could also work, the bits and pieces that we have. I've got some gravestones. I feel like gravestones work on this piece because I tried to put a die cut of some gravestones, an image of them down there. I'm not sure how successful that was. We've got a little raven. Got a big spider again. Sorry if you don't like spiders, guys. But, you know, sometimes you just got to add a spider. And talking about spiders, let me look for the spider web. Got a little red or black coffin too. Got a spider web. Little red or black coffin. Where is it? Oh, got a little... No, candlestick won't work. Let's just grab some of these and have a look. I don't think we need too much more on the front. I was wondering about putting like a couple of little graves on here. You know? So let's really ink these up because they're grey, but they need to be darker. And I need to ink both sides. I mean, it doesn't really matter actually because I don't think... I feel a bit weird about putting the crosses on here. Do we think that the vampires would be a bit like, ah, not a cross, ah? Well, no, just me. I don't know. I feel like they might be. I feel like they might be a bit upset by the cross. You know, I'm overthinking it. I know. But in my head, I'm wondering. But they look like skeletons coming out of the graves. So graves work in that sense. Do we think? I mean, hopefully. Hopefully you agree. Let's put a bat. It's got to be a bat. Got to be a bat. I need to find my other bats. I had a whole load of them. Where did they all go to? This is what happens when you're pre-filming not just one challenge, but other challenges too. That things get put down and moved around in other places. And then you're like, hold on, where did I put that? Oh, I hope you still enjoy this video, even if it's a bit chaotic. So we have that on there, like that. Feel like we need more flowers on this lovely lady. On a lovely, lovely lady. Well, lovely-ish, hey. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. I have all the little Tim Holtz bits as well, but I don't think I need any of those. And obviously I'm going to stencil. I mean, I can't not stencil, can I? Makes no sense not to stencil. Maybe on this side, because on the other side we've got something else anyway. So let's just put this on this side. Like so, like so. So I hope you like this idea. I just think it's fun, interactive. Again, you don't have to use, if you don't have vellum and acetate and all that kind of good stuff, you can just use whatever pieces you already have in your stash. Stick down. Honestly, my hands are so covered in glue right now, guys, that they just don't want, they want to stick everything to themselves. I need to remove that a minute because this needs to be trimmed. Yeah, they just want to stick to it. But I think it's a fun kind of way of doing something a bit different. I want the spider web up there, like so. Maybe we want the spider web up there. And yeah, it's interactive. It can be removed, which does mean that you could add it to different parts of your journal, because it's just all about putting magnets somewhere else. Stick down. Do we want a giant spider along the bottom here? I mean, no, it's a bit too much. That's a bit too much. I could have this red coming up. I cut it because it was too long, and now I'm thinking it needs more. That needs to stick. Just stick down. Just stop fighting me. Oh dear, some projects, they're sent to try us. But as I said, we shall persevere, and it will all be okay. So we've got lots of like, yep. And then we've got her the other side. And I really don't think we need too much, but I was wondering about putting some bats on that side. Right, let's lift everything up so you can actually see what I'm doing. And we do have the gravestone again. I almost want to put it there, but I don't know if we'll see it through him. I don't think it matters if we do, because it's dark grey anyway. We could cut it down a little bit. So let's do that. I'm trying not to really put glue on where the what's it called? Acetate kind of is. It will dry clear, but I just don't want any smudging of anything on it, if that makes sense. So let's also add some bats to her, and she can have a red bat on her. And then I think what we're just going to do is add some stenciling to, I really need to find some large bats. It's bothering me. I mean, I have another little one right here that I found on my table. But it is actually bothering me that I can't find a large bat. And I know I have them because I think it would really work on the inside piece. I don't want to stop and have to die cut something else. So we've got that, but then we've got this piece. I was wondering about a raven in here. Oh, isn't that raven gorgeous? The spider's gorgeous too, to be honest. Who would have thought you could turn around and go, yeah, spider's gorgeous. Little coffin. We've got it in red. Oh, I kind of love the raven. What do we think? Let's see. Yep, it's hidden anyway, so it's not like a problem. I'm going to trim that bit off. Let's have the raven. Let's add a little bit of washi for the raven to sit on, kind of thing. So we can add that and add a longer piece. And then we can add a bit of gold to the raven. Add a bit of gold to the raven. The raven. His little feet, make sure they're definitely glued. Okay, our little raven can sit on there like so. And we can't even see the raven, which is brilliant. We can see through the acetate, and it's really dark down the bottom, which, you know, I'm loving. I know what I need to grab, so let me do that. Okay, so not only have I found what I wanted to find, but I've cleared my desk and I've washed my hands because they were really, really starting to bother me. And I found some more bats. And I found stamp sets. So I have the new, they came out last year. They're Stampers Anonymous. They are framed frights. Tim Holtz collection. They are CMS 49.4. I haven't even used them yet, but I want to use them, guys. So we are going to bring that in there, and what I have to decide is, do I want it in my black stays on? I think I do. I was going to have it in my red stays on, but I think I want it in my black stays on. And so we're going to use this. This wasn't what I was looking for when I was originally looking for something. But I'm going to be honest with you. When I saw it, I was like, okay, yes, please. Now, I want this one, I think. And what I want to do... Where did the acrylic block just go to? Oh, am I seeing it and not seeing it? Is that what's happening? Oh, it's right there. Okay, what I want to do is I basically just want the skulls. That's what I want. So we're going to come on with the black stays on. And I'm going to do an off print there. Right. Definitely need more ink on that. Let's try that again. Because obviously it's a new stamp. Yep, that'll work for me. That's really, I think I need a new stays on. I go through these so quickly because I just use them. I use my black stays on permanent ink all the time. Ah, skulls! So we haven't used the whole thing, which I now have to clean. We've just used this part of it. I could come on and even just use the tree. I'm not going to. We've also got a gravestone here with more skulls. So again, going to do exactly the same thing. I actually want most of this stamp. Not so much the frame though. I need to think about that. Can have the frame bit down the bottom, but I don't want it at the top. So again, I'm going to do a practice impression. And you can see there was barely any on the gravestone there. Really need to buy some new one of this. Really get that in. Let's do another practice impression. I'm still not getting a lot of that gravestone. I don't know why. So really, really, really want to press that down. If I don't get it perfect, it doesn't matter. This is a grungy piece anyway. So if it's not perfect, I'm not going to like cry over it. And the worst thing see, that's not perfect at all. That's okay. Do you know what we're going to do with that? Here's what we do. We come on with a piece of collage. Again, collage, it really helps. When things don't go to plan, change the plan. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to have to work with those, and I do think I need a new Stays On ink pad. So we've got some stamped image down the bottom here, which I can still kind of see. So I'm good with that. And then I have this little bat I was thinking of bringing on, but no. And then we do have the spider again. I am desperate to get this spider in somewhere, so we're going to do it there. I know, again, not all of you like spiders. I understand, but also, why not add it? I can imagine spiders crawling around in the graveyard, can't you guys? So we've got a spider there. I did find more bats, so I'm going to turn this over, and I may add a bat up the top there. I found some little ones as well, so a little one would work. Little red one again would work there. We've got the raven that side, so maybe not. Let's try. Oh, do you know what? Let's bring on the rub-ons. These are the Tim Holtz Halloween Remnant rub-ons, and they are TH94268. And I love these for many reasons. So we're going to pull some of these out. And we've got urns on here, which I think are always cute. We've got little skull things on here, which again, I think are cute for these kind of projects. So let us use that on here. And it's all about decorating now. So I'm going to put that on the top of here. Love it. Honestly, the rub-ons are one of my favourite Tim Holtz products of all time. I just love them. And you know you're going to get a good impression with them, unlike as we've just seen with the stamps. Sometimes the impression, down to user error, I may add, not down to a Tim Holtz issue, but down to user error, can sometimes just not, is what I'm looking for. I'm going to put that up there. That's at the top. So I want to make sure that I'm not putting it over the magnet, because we have a magnet on there. So I'm just going to put it underneath the magnet, like so. So we've got a bat up there now. I'm also going to bring in, do I want another rub on? Got a little flower one somewhere that I really like. Where did that go to? Oh, here. I love the little black flower. Is there somewhere I can add it? Maybe here? Because I've got it and it's loose and I just think let's add it. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Just down there like that. Oh, love that. Love it. Did I say I loved it? Just in case you didn't hear me. Love it. Oh my gosh, we've got a little heart. We've got to use the heart. We've got a bigger heart. We've got to use the heart. I mean, we have to, don't we? Where can we use it? Can we use it on him somewhere? Oh, definitely. This is my problem. I find the rub-ons and I just go, do you know what? Let's add them. Let's add them. Yep. Which does mean I'm going to have to buy more. So we've got that problem too. Okay. Oh, got to add the heart. All right. I think the last thing I want to do, I think I'd probably want to decorate it even more, but I'm reminding myself that sometimes more is less is more. I think can add about up there. I've got them now on my table, so I'm just thinking, well, we've got them, let's use them because this is my final piece. And yes, I use bats in a lot of things, so I wouldn't necessarily have to just use them on here, but I've got it, so why not? Oh, I love it. I just love the bats. I really do. Could have two like that. No, we need this one. I like the mix. Got to have some bats. Got to have the bats. Wondering if she needs a red bat. Does he need a red bat? Does this need a red bat? Does that needs a red bat, doesn't it? See, I knew that red bat needed to go somewhere. I just didn't know where. It all needs a red bat. Now, I mean, this is beautiful and grungy, but I'm going to come on with, it's a Tim Holtz stencil. I don't know which mini set it's from, but it's THMS 149 and it's this kind of gothic, almost German print, and I haven't even inked up this brush. You can barely see it. Let me get that up. Can you just see? But it just adds a little bit of background, and the reason I didn't do add more ink to the brush is because I want that very, sorry if the camera's shaking, I want that very fine background detail. I still want you to be able to write over this because that's the whole reason I added so much writing space. I'm feeling like this needs a little summit. I feel like it's too, what's the word I'm looking for? It's too square a little bit. No, I don't want that. We could just bring in some washi again. Where did my skull washi go? Could just bring in a little bit of this. Or we got a little spider. No, not the spider. If I had another bat, would that work? Nope, I don't like that either. It really is trial and error. Oh, I know what we had. Hold on. Okay, I thought I had more of the grey graves. I don't. So this is the Halloween 23 sticker book. It is TH 94335 and this has some skulls in it. And I think a skull would work because we've got skulls there. So this could, a skull could work. I think I also want a scrap. I do want a little scrap. I'm trying to find, I cleared all the scraps off my table. It's always the way, isn't it? You clear it off thinking, well, I don't need that anymore. And then you come on and it's like, no, I do. I need a scrap. So let's do this. Again, collage. It helps solve so many problems, guys. It really does. A little scrap of paper just helps solve so many problems. I will work with that stamp set. I tracked that down because I just wanted that stamp set so much. So I need to get it to work. I like it there because it's sitting on top of the stamped skulls. I'll show you in a second what I mean. Do I want another one? We've got like a half skull here. Yeah, let's add that too. All right, I think we're done. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Let me show you. Do you see how it's sitting on the stamped skulls? Okay. Let's close this puppy up and remember that this was for the Fanguary prompt. Oh my goodness. It was the final one, day 7. This challenged me, which it shouldn't. I told you I've made these before, not exactly like this, but still. And it is Immortal Beloved. So we have, let's use this. We have a belly band for our journal. Love that. Again, you could use ribbon if you don't have magnets. We have our first Immortal Beloved on there, our Chappy McChap. And we open him up and we have our Lady McLady. Let's move this over. We have our 2 Immortal Beloveds. Let's turn them over that way. Got all our decoration. And then we have writing space. And then we can pull it this way and we have writing space. And then we can take it off. And we have, say it with me, writing space, guys. Yes, that's what we have. And I know I do this all the time, but I've just seen these graves are too clear for me, so I'm going to bring in my crackle stamp and just, that's what it needed. Honestly, I can't have them looking that clear. So anyway, there we go. Final prompt, final day of the challenge, final piece of ephemera, guys. I love it. I absolutely love it. So that's it. I will do a quick flip through of all the different pieces that I did, probably in another very, very quick video. But that's today's one. That is Fanguary over with. I just want to say a huge thank you to Priscilla for putting together yet another amazing mini challenge. I know work goes into this, coming up with the prompts and the ideas and all these different things and the filming and the amount of time that it takes to check out everyone else and watch their videos or see their posts and comment. I thank you so much, Priscilla, for all of your hard work and for making such an amazingly fun gothic-y vampire challenge. This is my final piece, as I said. Thank you so much for watching, all of you who have. I'll do a quick mini flip through video that you can catch if you are interested in seeing all the pieces together. And until next time, guys, I will be back soon with another video. But please do like, comment, share and subscribe if you haven't already. And I know this was a mishmash and a bit chaotic, but we got there in the end and we made a beautiful piece of ephemera. So it's all good. Thank you for watching and joining me during this week, this little mini challenge. And wherever you are in the world, guys, I hope you're having lots and lots of creepy, crafty fun. Bye for now.